The first episode of the second season of Severance gives us a great many talking points, from the clearly fake newspaper article, to the nightmare-inducing family visitation suite, all the new perks, and a creepy child just to top it off. Oh, and this weird floating fella that I immediately thought was Grainer. Anybody else? Looks like him, sort of. And we know they can reanimate the supposedly dead. But even amongst all that, the biggest mystery is that of the Night Gardener. When all the gang are sharing their stories of the outside, revealing their various revelations, Helly R tells a really poor, obvious lie, stating that she woke up home alone and told everything about any life to a gardener, despite having been awoken in the dead of night. So, was that Helly R, or is it someone else? Could it even be Helena Egan, here to spy on the innies who caused oh so much trouble? I've seen a lot of arguments online stating that because Helly lied, that it must be Helena, the outie, and not Helly the innie. But for me, unless Helena is playing 4D chess and telling an intentionally bad lie to double bluff the other innies, then the fact that the lie was so obvious is a sign that it is in fact Helly R. While Helly the innie woke up on the outside, she was in fact inside the Lumen building, just not on the severed floor. Unless I'm misremembering, she was never outside and so feasibly could have been unaware that it was dark, meaning that a gardener being present was a logical fallacy. Also, assuming that Helly hadn't been woken up prior to returning to the severed floor, she had not been alive since she was standing on the stage, shouting about her mistreatment. For her it had been mere minutes since she'd been on the outside, not much time to come up with a convincing lie. But why would she lie? Well, frankly, she had just learned who her outie actually is. Imagine branding yourself as a freedom fighter, the most violent and brash opponent to an oppressive regime, only to find out that you had amnesia and are in fact the son or daughter of the iron-fisted leader. You'd be embarrassed, ashamed even, and in the immediate aftermath, confused. Your entire sense of self would have been torn asunder. Before we assume that the lie is a sign of an ultimate deception, let's give her a moment to come to terms with the knowledge of who she truly is. That said, I do believe there's a strong case that Helly is in fact Helena. My case for Helena isn't to do with the lie, nor anything else that she said or did, but the mere fact that she is in there at all. The board were livid when they found out about the suicide attempt, and with Helly having crashed their party, I find it tremendously unlikely that they would have jeopardised their own flesh and blood in this way, especially since Helly was for the most part the driving force behind the MDR rebellion. I'm writing this after episode 1, and we're yet to see any of the outie world yet, having spent the entire first episode on the severed floor. But I feel like the next few episodes might give insight into how and why Helly would ever be allowed to exist again, as I currently can't see Helena, let alone her father, wanting her to see the light of day, so to speak, ever again. But perhaps there's a third option.